My sister slapped me in front of 300 people at her wedding, because I wouldn't give her my penthouse. Turns out, a judge was watching. Prat 2. The transformation from my carefree sister to demanding bride happened almost overnight. The Haley, who had once the wedding industrial complex, suddenly became obsessed with creating the perfect, Instagram-worthy celebration, and as her maid of honor, a role I reluctantly accepted, I had a front row seat to the spectacle. The venue costs $25,000 for just the space. Haley informed me during our first wedding planning lunch. She said this casually, as though discussing the price of a sandwich. But Ryan says we deserve the best. I nearly choked on my water. That's substantial. Are his parents covering most of the costs? A shadow crossed her face. We're figuring out the details. Ryan's investments have been a little unpredictable lately, but he assures me everything will work out. This was my first hint that something might be off about Ryan's financial situation, but I dismissed it. After all, wealthy people sometimes experience temporary cash flow issues. As the months progressed, Haley's demands multiplied exponentially. I received daily texts about bridesmaid dress colors, flower arrangements, and cake tastings I was expected to attend. When I explained that I couldn't miss an important client meeting for an appointment with a calligrapher, Haley burst into tears. You've always been selfish, Mackenzie. This is the most important day of my life, and you can't even adjust your precious schedule. My friend Brianna became my lifeline during this period. We had met in college and remained close despite her move to Portland a few years earlier. During our weekly phone calls, I could vent freely. I spent $300 on a bridal shower gift, and she complained it wasn't from the high-end registry. I told Brianna one evening. Meanwhile, I've taken so much time off work for wedding stuff that my commission checks are taking a hit. Sounds like classic Haley, Brianna replied. Taking everything you give, and still wanting more. Brianna had never been Haley's biggest fan, having witnessed her self-centered behavior during our college years. But even she was shocked when I shared what happened during a wedding planning session at my penthouse. Haley had asked to meet at my place, to discuss the bachelorette party. As she walked around my living room, running her fingers over my furniture, and staring out at the view of Elliott Bay, something in her expression changed. This place is absolutely perfect, she said more to herself than to me. Then turning to face me, you know, Ryan and I have been talking about where we'll live after the wedding. I thought you were looking at that new development in Queen Anne, I replied, referring to an upscale neighborhood they had mentioned. We were, but honestly, this would be so much better for us. She gestured around my home as if she were already imagining her belongings in it. Especially while we're establishing ourselves as a couple. I laughed, thinking she was joking. Well, you're welcome to visit anytime, but I'm quite attached to my home. Don't be ridiculous, Mackenzie. You could easily find another place. You're single with no kids. We need the space more than you do, especially when we start a family. The casual entitlement in her voice left me speechless. Was my sister seriously suggesting I give up my home, the one I had worked years to afford, simply because she wanted it? Haley, this isn't happening. I'm happy to help with wedding planning, but my home isn't part of that package. She stormed out, and for a blissful week, the barrage of wedding texts ceased. I hoped she had come to her senses. I was wrong. The bridal shower, hosted at our parents' house, should have been a pleasant afternoon with finger sandwiches and champagne. Instead, it became the stage for Haley's next move. Surrounded by 30 women, including future in-laws and colleagues, Haley clinked her glass for attention during the gift opening. Before I open these lovely presents, Ryan and I have an announcement. She beamed. After the honeymoon, we'll be moving into Mackenzie's gorgeous penthouse. She's generously offered it to us, while we look for our forever home. And the room erupted in applause and congratulatory murmurs. All eyes turned to me, expecting the proud, self-sacrificing sister to confirm this grand gesture. There must be some confusion, I said, keeping my voice steady. Haven't offered my home to anyone. An awkward silence fell over the room. Haley's smile froze. Don't be modest, sis, she said through gritted teeth. We've discussed this. We discussed it when you suggested it, and I declined. I corrected her. My home is not available. The shower never recovered from that uncomfortable exchange. Guests hurriedly offered Haley other gifts while my mother pulled me aside in the kitchen. Why are you doing this to your sister? She hissed. You know how important appearances are to her. I'm not doing anything except refusing to give away my home, I replied. Why are you taking her side in this insanity? Because family helps family, Mackenzie. You've always had everything come easily to you. Would it kill you to make a sacrifice for once? Her words stung like a physical blow. Everything come easily. The years of working multiple jobs, the sacrifices, the careful budgeting. None of that had been easy. But in my family's revisionist history, my success was apparently a lucky accident, rather than the result of determination and hard work. As I drove home that evening, I realized the shower incident was just the beginning. The entitlement that had been cultivated throughout Haley's life had reached its peak, and my penthouse had become the ultimate prize she felt entitled to. The collision course was set, though I couldn't yet envision just how publicly and painfully it would culminate. 3 weeks after the bridal shower disaster, I received a text from Haley asking to meet for coffee. Hoping for reconciliation, I agreed, suggesting a quiet cafe near my office.